And hey, we are here, we are live, I think. In the early days of the stream, I would test my phones to see if we are live. Are we alive? Yes, I think we are live. Gordon says hey. Hey, not hey. Hi, as in mall. And we had a whole little lesson about how to pronounce Gordon's daughter's name yesterday with the Jana Marie. Now, what it is again? I saw you guys in the closed captions talking about mall. Why are Gordon and David talking about malls? And she's interested in malls. She was trying to figure out what's the conversation about malls. It was about pronunciation, hearing thing, two nerds talking it out. Live online, trying to get it right. And this morning, we're trying to get everything for you. Every time we turn on something, something's off. So it's always a challenge. And some things you just don't know until you click a button and you go live. Like you forget to turn on your microphone, you forget to start the music. Or today, when I set it up, for some reason, a different camera was selected. So this is my Elgato cam that I have set up that gives us kind of romantic lighting. And for some reason, NVIDIA Broadcast was using the Logitech Brio, which was one of our original cameras. It's sort of a scuffy camera, but it is the camera that XQC has been using from the beginning. And you can tell by the quality of his stream, he doesn't care that it's a lousy looking camera. So I'm starting this right away, so if I freeze everything or I break something, I can try to put it back. So this is our Logitech Brio. Meow. And it's slightly off. And this is just as it is. Running through NVIDIA Broadcast. The color of my shirt is different. If I move, it autofocuses, which makes it very awful and very dangerous for sign language. Now you can turn all of this off. You can turn off auto balance. You can turn off, I think, does it have follow me? Follow me. But this is the camera we used with some tweaks at the beginning of our stream, which is okay, I guess. A little noisy to me, a little busy. But the thing that kills you is the automatic white balance, which is on by default on all of these cameras, which just blows out everything. So if you have super white skin, that becomes the normal, and everything behind it gets all blurry and gritty. So for some reason, this camera was selected. So I put it back on Elgato and then tried to go into Elgato to make sure that all of the settings were perfect. And Elgato said, turn on the camera. The camera is on, but not according to Elgato. So somehow the camera's on, but NVIDIA Broadcast is deciding it's on and not Elgato. And I turned on the other camera and turned on the Elgato software and it said, turn on the camera. I have no idea. I don't even know how to fix it. But right now there's nothing to fix because it appears, so far, that we are here live and in person on the right, correct camera. Now, why do you have two cameras? Well, one's a backup. Maybe a very good backup, but we have a backup. But the other thing is, if and when I am able to do like an interview, a live interview with a human being other than myself, Zoom and Google Meets, Google Meeting, which works the best in our setup, Google Meet. I open up a browser window, start Google Meet. Now, Google Meet, when it starts, says, I can't use the Elgato camera because it's in use. Well, that's true. And Zoom says the same thing. I can't access the Elgato camera. So then I put my Brio up there. Then I tell Zoom and Google Meet, hey, why don't you use the Logitech camera? Okay. So it's very weird when I do an interview. So I'm here on this camera, and then in the window, the browser, you see my guest, and then you sort of see me, but my guest sees me, not on the main camera, but on my Brio camera. It's a very bizarre jar within a jar, mirror within a mirror effect. But we've tested it out, and it seems like, in theory, that it would be just fine. And the neat thing about using Google Meet is, even though it's in a browser window and a little bit small, you can turn on the captions in Google Meet, and the Google Meet will caption what your guest is saying. Because the way it is now, the only thing that gets captioned here that's spoken live is me. So if someone's in chat or someone is just, calling in, there's no captions. But if we do a Google Meet, the captions are there. But you have to be watching the live stream to see the captions. It's all very technical and confusing. Yesterday, I upped my kettlebell workout, going up a poot, and a poot is 9 pounds, very Russian. And I made the mistake of having two really heavy poots, 62-pound kettlebells. One was in one corner of the room, the other was in the other corner of the room. I don't use those really to do my Turkish lifts. I do those Turkish get-ups with a much, much lighter weight right now. But that's a goal. But at the end of my Turkish lifts, to get my blood pressure in check, I take two heavy kettlebells and I hold them by my side for about 2 minutes. Because I've learned through extensive research that if you flex your hands and carry heavy weight, and you don't have to walk, although I did walk, farmer's walk, it somehow increases your blood pressure rate in a good way. It lowers your blood pressure in a good way. So I usually do that at the end of a kettlebell exercise. Made the mistake yesterday of, hey, I'll just pick up this kettlebell this way and twist it and then walk over. I didn't pick up the kettlebell straight up, walk over, pick up the other kettlebell straight up. I picked it up, twisted, and out. So there's a little bit of discomfort. It could be my chair too, but that's why I keep fidgeting. And this chair is supposed to have multiple kinds of adjustments for your back. I'm not seeing it. There are knobs on the side. I've played with them since they arrived. I've played with them after. I'd rather have a pillow. But they say you don't need a pillow with this chair because this is the Titan 2 million. Just sit in your chair. Okay, I'll try. It does seem to feel a little bit better, like a little bit of support. But that is my warning to you, is don't mess around with the kettlebells, especially when you have a heavy weight. And then what I do is I stand there for 2 minutes on a clock, just holding the weight as best I can. So those kettlebells together are like 125 pounds, which is heavy. And sometimes, if I feel like it, I try to walk around just a little bit to sort of imitate exercising by lifting stuff and walking around with it. And so far it works. I'm very happy with it. I'm now in the mode of doing Turkish get-ups now exclusively because I find that, wow, that really is the one exercise that just exercises and tests your whole body. Your stomach, your core, your arms, your legs. Nothing is safe in a Turkish getup. And I especially like it that as you get older, a Turkish getup teaches you how to get up off the ground. And that's good for any age. How do you safely get up off of the floor on the ground? Just maybe you're taking a nap. Maybe someone in school pushes you and it's the start of a fight. How do you get up in a position where you're not vulnerable and you get up quickly and safely and you land on your feet in a defensive mode? It's all in the Turkish getup. It's a very valuable tool to learn for someone of any and all ages. So now that we have our TikTok going, I have given my Prime Monster the following directive. You're in New York City a lot. You're in Greenwich Village a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on. If you happen to see something that's interesting, take out your phone, make a video. Now, TikTok, as I understand it, or a lot of these social media places, love video now, but they don't want it over 60 seconds. So just go, Jana Marie, take a video, picture, and we'll use it on the show. We'll put it on your part of the Discord server, and we'll add it to TikTok and see how many views we get and what people are interested in. So she did that yesterday, and this is what she came up with. It's fun, fun, fun. And I wish you were just a tiny bit closer, but that's all. This person, and there's a lot of sound, so I think I've turned it off, dancing Washington Square Park with gray paint on her feet. And as she dances to her music, she is creating a piece of art on her canvas that I guess you can purchase if you want to. Oh, now come on now. I tested this and it played just fine there earlier this morning. I'm going to restart the thing. There's no reason not to play. Oh, let's turn the sound off. And it's very interesting, and it's like her dress matches her art. She probably created her dress by paint dancing. I don't know what this is called. There are a lot of people, probably tourists or people from out of town, perhaps even the state of Nebraska, who would see this and say this is insanity. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it's inspired. Perhaps they'd rather see elephants or monkeys doing it. I don't know. This woman appears to be very into her artwork. And while no one's really paying attention to her, except for Jana Marie, I guess she's doing her thing. And if you get closer, I guess you can see her online social media, and she's, of course, asking for donations. Why not? Now I'm going to show you Washington Square dancing that I've shown you before, and I got in big trouble with the sound. So I'm turning off the sound and I'm playing the video. So it's actually going to be on video on demand on the YouTube. Because this was fun. People have sent me little messages about how delightful this is, and if they had been there, they would have put on their dancing shoes and started painting the floor. Now imagine if they were all dancing on a big canvas and each of them had a different color and they were making a big painting. That would be fun. Commissioner Gordon says, I am reminded of when the musician Halsey sang a song on Saturday Night Live while painting a giant portrait. That was then, of course, gifted to NBC. Fun. Painting and singing. Saturday Night Live with Gordon. Here's his link. You need to see this video of Halsey painting and singing at the same time during her live Saturday night performance. Bum, bum, bum. Now, I can't even play this because this is YouTube, and even if I cut the sound, YouTube will say you still played one of our restricted videos. So we'll just go with the idea and see if there's any sort of photo. I guess this is what she drew, which is very fun. Okay, very cute. Okay, she's putting someone on blast. I don't like public revenge, but okay, I guess if that's your thing, that's your thing. Hey, there you go. Halsey for the win. I don't even really know who Halsey is. I guess I'm just out of it. I'm sure she's a wonderful person. But if someone hurts you, it doesn't mean you have to go on Saturday Night Live and make fun of them. Or whatever. So hey, checking in with checking in with NFT.NYC. This is our friend, Ishita Banerjee, Soul Curry Art. And here is her take, she's Canadian, on spending 4 days here in New York City at NFT.NYC. And I was supposed to get together with her and meet her, and I said, look, they didn't give me a media pass, I can't get in. I'd love to be there for 4 days hanging out, doing fun stuff, but if that's not working out, if I can't report on that and make a little money, I gotta stay here and do the slog. And she said, okay. So she says, after an insanely packed 4 days at NFT.NYC 2022, my honest observation, well, it's better than a lying observation. You know, there's a guy on Twitch who every time he speaks says, if I'm being honest, and I want to reply back and say, why wouldn't you be honest? I don't know if that's a British thing or not, but they do tend to say that quite a bit. My honest observation, if I'm being honest, are you or are you not? Really felt like in bullet points. Hey, it's Gordon. It is totally an English thing, says Commissioner Gordon from Florida. Well, I'm now declaring that I'm a citizen of the UK. And everything I say, I'm going to preface with. If I'm being honest, artists really get each other because we've lived through how hard it is. Now, that's true. Connections made through voice apps translated into so much love and gratitude. And here are her bullet points. There's innovation happening in everything around us in more ways than you can imagine. Tech innovation in this space is just getting started. Very true. Web 3 is on its way. The mood was upbeat and enthusiastic. Now, she's saying that because Ethereum is a third of the price that it used to be, a month ago when they were planning all of this. I'm sure people are completely and utterly devastated. None of the people I met had even considered exiting, quitting, giving up. In fact, I felt multiple people who bought even more Ethereum at the dip. Hey, Gordon's back. In American English, has the equivalent expression, well, to tell the truth. I don't like either one of them. Why don't we just default to telling the truth? And then if you're a liar, people will call you out. That's a signal to me that you're about to lie. And the other thing that's just crazy to me is my favorite Hikaru Nakamura, whose catchphrase is, I literally don't care. And I'm saying, Hikaru, just say you don't care. Why do you have to say literally? Just like on Grand Theft Auto, Cerberus, the giant monopoly, they think that their funny phrase is, We're not evil. Oh, now the funnier phrase, their new motto should be, we're not that evil. That's funnier. If I'm being honest, it's for you to decide. Indubitably. Marketing of projects was creative and oftentimes fun and games. Very true, there was a lot of creativity going on in NFT.NYC because I watched a lot of it. There was way too many t-shirts given away at NFT.NYC, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Maybe a little less t-shirts and a little more creative experiences. Now that's interesting because she wears her own t-shirts that she made. Is she literally talking about herself honestly? 8Ball says yes. I got to experience the real meaning of utility and a sense of belonging to a community. Exceeded my wildest expectations. Creative experiences doesn't need to be weed parties and late nights. Experiences that involve family and let non-holders get a glimpse of Web3 utility was a huge win. Everyone loved Cool Cats NFT Cooltopia. I have no idea what that means, but maybe we'll look at that in a minute. Julian Gilliam ran one of the best panels of the Web3 week at Sugoi, asked pertinent questions and held discussions that I wanted to hear. Learned so much in the few hours I spent there. Paint parties are fabulous ideas to engage with the community, participate with other artists, and have fun making art the purpose of it all. We saw pictures of that earlier. We definitely need more diversity, varied voices, ethnicity, and LGBTQA plus representation. Now, the photographs I saw look very inclusive and a lot of interesting, different, wacky people there. But I wasn't there, indubitably. 10K collections and PFPs are here to stay. It's not going away anytime soon, but neither is one-on-one art. One-of-one art continue to be celebrated alongside projects, so win-win for both. That's interesting. I don't like the 10K collections. I think they're just gross. Who wants one of 10,000? Unless they're all one-of-ones, but they're usually not. Meeting people, especially spending one-on-one time with your collectors and community, really matters. Taking time to grab a coffee, a drink, a meal, or spend time with those who supported you early will shape your trajectory. And she's put a lot of thought into this. It's very nice. Finally, more later, thanks for reading. I have a lot more to say, but can't keep my eyes open anymore. That was 7 hours ago, so that's what? 9:30, 3:30, 2:30 in the morning. If I'm being honest, it's like that's a little too late to be up. What time will she start posting today? We don't know, and nobody knows. Because it's New York, the city that never sleeps. And now it's time, if I'm being honest, to take a blood pressure break. Let me be frank, Gordon says. Exactly. People who have to profess what they're going to say are people who are not confident in what they're going to say. You don't have to say, let me be frank, just say it. And if people get offended, they get offended. But even if you warn them, a trigger warning, if you will, that encourages them even more to be offended. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Gordon's going to be frank. Oh no. Triggers. Oh, he's going to correct me. How do I pronounce his daughter's name again? I can't talk about malls because I'll be asked about it later. We're not talking about malls. We're talking about Malka.
If I'm being honest.
We'll return in a moment. And hey, we're back from break. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles.tv, BOLES.tv, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m.
If I'm back from break,
Well, are you or aren't you?
if I happen to be back from break,
Well, are you here or are you not here?
I am if.
Now, that's what I want to say to these British people online who say,
If I'm being honest,
I want to say to them, well, are you being honest or not? And what would they say?
well, if. Could be, couldn't be. You gotta figure it out for yourself. I could be lying to yous.
Why? I don't understand it. And that reminds me of when Gordon said, let me be frank, it reminds me of one of my favorite jokes where people start a sentence saying, surely you don't mean, and then I immediately say, stop calling me Shirley. Hey, Gordon says, LinkedIn. Oh, here's another link from the Gordon. You never know where you're going to go. It's going to be trouble. I think Gordon wrote this over the break.
If I'm being honest.
Gordon says, in this link, stop starting your sentence with,
If I'm being honest.
here's why it's harmful and disempowering. Confidence, one way, doubt, the other. Serial entrepreneur. This article is part of LinkedIn newsletter series. Subscribe today. One of the best-selling books last year is Girl, Stop Apologizing. A shame-free plan for embracing and achieving your goals. My wife really enjoyed it. Just as sorry has become the unconscious habit for people, especially to begin sentences with,
Sorry about that. Sorry. Is this a good time? Sorry.
I was just thinking that. So as the phrase,
If I'm being honest.
now the sorry stuff is new to me. I've never heard of that. The thing that really gets me now is whatever you say to somebody, and they're usually young people, hey, don't do that. Hey, thank you. Hey, I appreciate you. Their response is, no worries. I'm not worried. I'm thanking you for something you've done. No worries.
If I'm being honest, I'm a little bit worried.
If I'm being honest has become a verbal crutch, similar to and so, and also, this is a Judge Judy one that she hammers. What is it that she says? Basically. Well, and she cuts them off. That's why I used to love Judge Judy. Well, basically, not basically. No, basic. Just tell me what happened. And the defendant plaintiff says, well, basically, not basically. No basics. So then the person says, well, if I'm being honest. And her head explodes. If I'm being honest has become a verbal crutch. However, I'd argue that its meaning is far, far more disempowering and detrimental than, I guess, sorry. While some may use it to soften the blow of a controversial or strong opinion, I hear it used just as often as response to a direct question about simple preferences. Would you like to go for dinner? Well, if I'm being honest, I really like that Italian place, basically, Shirley. What kind of job are you looking for? Well, Shirley, if I'm being honest, Frank, I'm looking for something in a mall project. And like the overused preface, sorry, new to me, I'd guesstimate that for every 10 times I hear, if I'm being honest, 90% of the time it's being said by a female or a Brit. It's not just a matter of seniority. In the same week, I heard it from both a female college student and a female founder and CEO of a company. Facing an opinion or a perspective with, "If I'm being honest," undermines what you're about to say. In addition, it, 1, projects a lack of self-confidence. People want to follow and believe in people who are confident. Studies have shown that confidence often matters more than competence. It seems that the smartest and most qualified people tend to be the ones who believe they don't belong or aren't qualified to give their opinion. A phenomenon known as imposter syndrome. Fake it until you make it. It weakens the message, starting a sentence with the phrase, "I believe, I feel, I think, I wonder, no worries, if I'm being honest." Well, this is a stupid question, literally. Surely tends to weaken the message that comes after. Think about the difference in how the following is stated. "If I'm being honest, we should move away from murdering people in our company." Change it to, "Let's murder everyone." Which advice delivery comes across stronger? Has the opposite effect. Instead of effectively conveying a perspective, using that phrase tends to leave the recipient with a perception that perhaps the person shouldn't be taken at their word, or that they don't express their honest opinions in other situations. Clearly, there's an explicit or implicit message being communicated disappropriately to girls and women, that it is an appropriate way for them to communicate, whether that be in our school systems, families, or workplace. But it's not. Since becoming aware of it, I have gone out of my way. Oh, now here, this is where it gets into this is where it gets into Gordon trouble and Big Dave trouble, where you're going to help people by correcting them. And I remember a certain Elizabeth had a conversation with a certain Gordon about this a long time ago. And I may or may not, if I'm being honest, had similar conversations with Jana Marie. I have gone out of my way to call attention to it when I hear an employee, friend, family member, or even a stranger use "I'm being honest" filter. It's the if, it's not "I'm being honest," it's "if I'm being honest." Even when it's uncomfortable. I do it because I think it's disempowering. The problem is, as Elizabeth and Gordon and Jana and other people have told us, is when you start criticizing people for the way they speak, they get very resentful and very defensive. So you really have to do it in the right space, in the right time, and not in the moment. Often the person didn't even realize they'd said it until I pointed it out. Well, now I've stopped listening. If I'm being honest. Next time you hear someone say this phrase, hey, do a Gordon, do a Big Dave, say, hey, politely stop them, say, hey, you know that phrase you just used, if I'm being honest? And in a respectful way, well, if you were smarter, raise their awareness about it and stop calling me Shirley. Sometimes I tend to say, when someone responds to with, if I'm being honest, I say, sure, I hope you're being honest. Well, that's going to go over really well. It's a small but important step toward empowering others to their own thoughts, feelings, and perspectives. I hope that my 16-year-old daughter never feels the need to reply on that phrase, no worries, to state her opinion or to make a case for something she believes in. Quote of the week, it's best to act with confidence, no matter how little right you have to it. There you go. Lillian Hillman. Fake it till you make it. Well, that was both exhausting and fun. Totally right. And what do? You have a whole group of people who know everything everybody else is saying is wrong, and we're going to set out and we're going to correct it. because we're tired of hearing these wiggle phrases, as I used to teach my students. Be direct, be decisive, don't say maybe, if, could be, perhaps. Just cut them out. You're writing an argumentative paper, an argumentative response. Stand by what you mean. Do it well and do it right. Few people listen, but you have to keep doing it. But if I'm being honest, I find funny. The no worries just really boils my blood. And you can't say anything because that's all the kids are saying it today. And one time, one person that I will not name actually responded to a student by saying no worries. Now, maybe she was being sarcastic and ironic, but I don't think so. She's trying to speak to them on their level. I don't think so. If I'm being honest. Now we're finishing up NFT.NYC with our friend Ishita because she takes great pictures. Now this looks like a lot of fun. This is the Bored Ape at the South Street Seaport. They took over the seaport. There were apes, giant balloon apes everywhere. As you can see, the sails on the ships had apes on them. I believe there was a little outdoor concert. That looked like a lot of fun. But you'd had to have a ticket to get in. Another concert. Up all night. Here's the ape during the day, which I find very tempting and funny. You can't go near the ape, but you can take a picture of the ape. Ape Fest 2022. And you get a little band, not a t-shirt. Oh, now see, here's the self-condemning self-hatred that we like to speak about often on this show. Ishita says, don't bring a t-shirt. Don't give away a t-shirt. And she's wearing a t-shirt. And you know she had t-shirts she was giving away. And you know what? I like a t-shirt. I would prefer a t-shirt over a tote bag or over a wristband or over a memorial drink cup. And I guess that's sort of the end of her trip. I think the highlight yesterday was, I've seen her with this guy many times, must be a friend. I guess the highlight of her trip was the ape concert yesterday. And here's more of her. This is all South Street. That would have been just tremendous, tremendous fun. And maybe if you're at South Street, you can just walk around and get in, and people don't ticket you or card you or something, whatever you call it. I don't know. There she is, showing off all of her artwork. It's a wonderful opportunity. And I'm sure they're all hoping and praying that the price of Ethereum will go up. Because what they have to do is they have to delist what they're selling and then raise the price to try to get the price that they want. But people don't want to pay that price because we all know that's not their usual price. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, if I'm being honest, that has no end. Many worries, not no worries. Now, I would love to respond to somebody who says, oh, no worries, with, oh, I'm worried, though. I'm very concerned. Why do you have no worries? So these are the cool cats she mentioned that she really liked. Cooltopia. I don't even really know what this is, so I'm sure I'm showing my age and my non-nerd creds. But I guess the cool cats were there doing stuff. That looks cute. A lot of fun stuff. This is the Cool Cats website. I couldn't find them on OpenSea. So maybe you have to go to their website to join their gang, their cat gang. I don't know. I would like to see them, but I don't see any of them. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where the cats are. Cat gallery? Is that what I'm looking for? Okay, here we go. So these are the cats. All computer generated, as we've learned many times. Fun, I agree. look a lot like Cryptomores to me. Let's click on one. See what are they, is there a price? Oh, now it takes you to OpenSea. Meow. Price range is yow. $5,000. See if we can let's see if we can find for sale. Buy now. Meow. Done. So these are cats that are for sale. Ay, ay, ay. Price is 4. So today that's 4,000. A month ago, 4 was 12,000. So I guess there are deals to be had if you're crazy enough to ride around. Woo! It's a lot of money for a kitty. And I don't know what it gets you, but I guess it gets you in the gang, in the cat gang. Keep on bringing on this. And this is, this is what the Mi 6 avatars were trying so hard to become. This. Popular. 10,000 of them sold for a lot of money. And they just completely blew it. Because these cats are different and sort of fun. Who wouldn't want a cute cat? Now we're taking a very brief blood pressure break. Many more things to chat about. Returning in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles.tv. BOLES on television. We are here with you live Monday through Friday about the human condition and all kinds of weird things. And hey, Jenna Marie is here on the weekends, 11 a.m. Eastern, talking about disability and communication and sign language. Well, on the break, Commissioner Gordon just made us a something. I don't know what's going on, but I'll show it to you. I don't know if this is NFT work or not. It could be. Fork this drawing, create a new drawing. I don't understand what this is, but maybe it's some sort of game. We used to have a tic-tac-toe game on here where people could play tic-tac-toe against each other or against the machine, and it froze everything up. And I took a look at the game that Gordon suggested to us yesterday, the 8-bit game. It looked okay. I couldn't get past the graphics. I will not have 8-bit graphics on this show. I'll have an 8-bit me and a 2-bit me, but not 8-bit graphics. I can't tolerate it. It's aesthetically wrong. It's aesthetically displeasing. It's a fun way to draw and share images. Is all the drawing having to be done with your mouse, or do you use something else? Sure, you can make your own NFT images. I imagine. Could be cute. Reminds me of Slither.io, which is a very interesting game that's hard to make it work. Fork this drawing. I'll click on that. You're forking an existing drawing. Modify this drawing to your heart's content, and then share it via email, instant messaging, a Twitter, a Facebook, and more. Or, if you prefer, you can start with a blank canvas. Well, Davy, well. How do I fill? Oh, I can't fill. Oh, I get a bigger pencil. Now, this is going to take me all day to make this green to match my shirt. It's lucky we have as many hours in the day as we need. And we're going to talk a little bit about OpenSea and this major social media beta test of NFTs that I'm not allowed to speak about. Publicly, I can speak about it in private as much as I want. This is almost like Slither.io, which I admit is a fun game, although it's hard on your wrist. Well, that was fun. Now we have to pick a different color. He's been in the moss. So he's just a little bit too mossy. It's covering up his own beautiful face, but that's okay. Bears are used to it. And bears have no honesty in them, so they don't have to worry about actually being honest. Yes, it's all about honesty when it comes to art. And understanding. Making it all work. Now we gotta go for something fun. Gotta get a different color. Get a little blue in here. Feeling a little blue, are you? Well, I am. Honestly, I am a little blue. Basically blue. No worries. We'll take care of all the blue that's inside you. Now I need one more fun color. Let's go with a pinko for the ears. Oh, it's just delightful. It looks like Pepe the Frog, but it's actually, I guess, Pepe the Beautiful Bear. Well, I think it's just gorgeous, and if I could share it, I would, but I don't know if this will work. I'll try to share. Hey, you can share your drawing with others by pasting on this link. Go to my Twitter. Oh, here we go. Raina. Oh, it doesn't look like it's going to let me post it. Now, Raina, I have to tell you, is a very interesting NFT artist. I sent her a little note saying, hey, if you're interested in being in this social beta test, let me know. She doesn't reply. Doesn't read her DMs, but I'll show you some of her work. This is Raina on OpenSea. And the reason I like this is because it's very different from what you're about to see that is in my current collection. Odd, weird, sort of scary, but there's an intention behind it, and it's all unique and all hand-drawn. It's not computer done. But what are you going to do? Someone doesn't, oh, there's frogs. Someone doesn't understand, someone doesn't want to be involved. You can't force them. I'm not going to hack after her. She either gets it or she doesn't. So, Raina's dead to me. And speaking of OpenSea, this was posted on their Discord server yesterday during NFT.nyc. Hey, are you interested in OpenSea swag? Now, swag to me means a t-shirt, which Yoshida says no more t-shirts, which I say, please, I need more t-shirts. Hey, for those in NYC, keep an eye out for Raghu, our head creator. Marketing at Washington Square Park. You know, we post a lot of videos from there. Yesterday, between 5 and 7 p.m. He'll be out there with custom NFT, NFC, OpenSea shirts, socks, tote bags, passing out swag. Looking to meet and connect with the OpenSea community. He'll be near the arch wearing a blue OpenSea shirt. Come and say hello, or even hey. And level up your swag game. So I was here, but Jana Marie was teaching yesterday between the hours of 5 and 7 at NYU. I mean, an unnamed university near Washington Square Park. And I said, hey, look, go, find, get. And she said, okay, she's up for that kind of thing. She loves to hunt for things in New York City. Most people don't. But if you give her a goal and a project, find this, find that, we need this, have you heard of this? On her own, she has a list of things. She'll hunt for it until the day is done or until the next day dawns. She will never give up. It's fabulous. And she always finds it, usually. Yesterday, she got there, 4:45, looking for the guy, not there. Took a break during class. It's a very long class. Took a little break, ran out there because it's right outside her classroom. Not there. After class, went looking for the guy. Not there. She said 100% this guy was not there. Now what do I do? I guess I need to go and complain. I said, here's our username. Here's this image. Show it to him. Say, hey, I'm here for my swag. But she couldn't. She tried. She was very determined. Wasn't there. She was ready to take a picture. She was ready to take video. There was nobody at the arch giving away anything. Which reminds me of OpenSea and this unnamed beta for a major social media company that is supposed to begin, as I understand, onboarding today with access on Monday. I don't know what any of that means. But this is what I have so far. And OpenSea now has a featured category where you can take your best collected art, organize it, show it off, if you will, on your main page. So this is an Ian Jones creation. This is Ishita Banerjee creation that they sent me for this beta test. So here's the lovely Ishita with the two things she sent. Two separate things, but side by side, they look like they belong together. It's almost as if they were drawn by the same artist, which they were. No worries. Ian Jones sent me one this lovely, interesting mask, a one of one. Very valuable. This is our new friend from yesterday, Alexander Grushansky. In Ukraine, his art is inspired by the work of Ukraine. This one is a dog saving someone from an overturned car with a tank. Very different. I want to ask him a lot of questions about this, and I will in our Q&A. And then he also sent me this strange... I looked at this for a long time to try to figure out what was going on here. But this is an eyeball with some kind of hand, I think. I don't know what it is. It's different. I will ask him about it when we do our Q&A. Hey, the Commissioner Gordon, right here, live and in concert. Omaha Civic Auditorium, live from Florida. Sent us this wonderful imagined NFT about a murder. The murder of Mark Blitzstein. Terrific, fun, new artist. How did you get into it? Why did you get into it? Where were the obstacles? Hey, it's the Jana Marie. I moved these, transferred, as you will, from our real wallet to our test wallet, because I'm going to do an interview with her about using NFTs in education and how you might teach American Sign Language using NFTs, videos, or still images. And this is her video that's just terrific. That may not be usable during the beta test because they're not doing videos yet. Here's our friend Igba, our Russian exile friend. Give him a good chat. He does not want to do a Facebook Live because he said his English is not good. And when he communicates with me via text, he does it through a translator app. And he is comfortable to do a Q&A that way, which is fine. Finally, meow, just to do it. Hey, it's us, Jana Marie and the Big Ugly Dave. One is animated, which I like because I think that's the only animated image we have. The other one's a movie. And that's just a still image in case you can't see the animated, because I don't really know what's going on with this beta test because nobody really told me nothing. So there you go. That's it so far with the up-and-coming, unknown, unresolved beta test for a major company. Now here we go into a very interesting topic that I have found fascinating for many, 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 many years. And we've talked about an early version of this right at the beginning of when this live stream started, maybe 6-8 months ago. This story is about robot dogs joining the New York Fire Department, which sounds sort of interesting. Oh, a robot dog. What do you know? Joining the NYPD. Hey, isn't that interesting? No, it's not interesting. Because the story we did was about the rise of these robots and how they are eventually going to take over policing and military in the United States and probably the world. Artificially intelligent robots with guns and weapons. And the NYPD, this is what started our story back then, had a robot dog that would go and chase people and bite them. And almost immediately when the robot dog was revealed, people were outraged and furious, saying that is grotesque, knowing the history of Black people in America being attacked by dogs during the Civil Rights era and sprayed with water hoses from fire departments. You cannot have a robot dog on the NYPD. So they back down. Okay, no dog. Now you know they're furious because they want these dogs policing. You can't kill a dog, a robot dog. A robot dog does what you tell it to do, not what they tell it to do. It can bite, it can bark, it can chase you, it can tackle you. All very scary, dangerous things. And I am reminded of not a robot dog, but a robot that was maybe in the news a year ago, where there was some town that had this new robot that they could send into a dangerous situation. I'm sure they wish they had a similar thing in Uvalde. And there was this guy who had shot people. He was holed up in a parking garage, hiding inside a cargo container that he had put there. So it's a metal cargo container that would, deflect bullets, good place to hide. You can lock the door. They can't get in. Maybe he can live there. I think it was bolted down somehow. I mean, not really far thinking because the police can do whatever they want. But that was the idea. He had guns, weapons, bombs, food. He could stay there for a week very easily and hold them off. And he had already shot people. So the police were saying, we're not messing with this guy. If we go into this container, I think it was like one of the doors were open, he's going to shoot our face off. We're not doing that. Get me the robot. And then they stopped talking about what happened next. But then people who did some research figured out what happened next. It ended up that the guy was killed and it was over. And that's what the police said. The situation was resolved. But what they did is they sent in this robot with a camera where they could see where he was and what he was doing. And the robot didn't have a gun, but it had something else. And the robot went and turned the corner and they could see the guy in there, and the guy started shooting at the robot and not making any difference. And then they invoked what the robot was designed to do. The robot was equipped with a very, very high pressure system of water, like a CNC machine that can cut through anything. And what they did is they had the robot lift its arm, send out a stream of water at a very high pressure, zzz, 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 and they cut the guy in half. And they didn't talk about it. They didn't want to talk about it. There were but people who knew what kind of robot it was, what the program was, what they've been talked about. Now, that to me is terrific. No shots were fired by police robot. The guy was killed, cut in half by water, and it was over. No one else was hurt. But they were very concerned that people would be terrified of the police, that they can come in there and just shoot you with water and you are dead. There's really no living out of that because whatever part they're going to cut off, you're not going to live very long. Even if they cut off your hand, they just put a hole through you with the water, you're going to bleed out really fast. But that's the future of policing in America. And that's why you see so many online videos, especially on YouTube from Boston Scientific, of these robots, right? You push them, they get back up. I've shown you the videos. They jump up and down. There are dogs. There are people, robot-looking people. And they put it to fun music. Hey, we're dancing. Look, I'm a robot. I can do flips. I'm a gymnast. All in this idea of softening up this blow that's coming in the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years, where we're going to have robots policing us and deciding if we can come or go, if we're going to be cut in half with water or not, or perhaps even shot with a bullet. But they learned from the NYPD and their mechanical dog, oh boy, we got to handle this right because people are not going to respond to a mechanical dog. Let's make a dancing dog and put it on YouTube and spread it virally so everyone can see, look, these robots aren't dangerous. They're here to dance. The robots are here to make our lives better with dancing. And once you get people convinced of that, they can say, okay, well, the robot dances. But if there's a shooter in a school or something, yeah, and the robot can dance right over to the school, break down the door, and shoot the shooter in half with a stream of water. Now, who wouldn't want that? No lives are in danger. There's no delay. Let the robot do it. That's the thinking. So when we see this article in the New York Times, see spot save, robot dog joins the fire department, this is how they soften you up. This is not an NYP, this is not a police dog. No. This is like the Dalmatian that runs next to the fire truck on the way to the fire. Oh, Gordon says bad news. The Supreme Court just turned over Roe v. Wade. We will check into that in a moment. We're almost going to take a break and we'll come back. Plans to use 2 new robot dogs only in precarious search and rescue missions may help avoid the controversy that met the police department's robots last year. And this is from March of this year. Inside a dimly lit tunnel along the stretch of simulated subway tracks, one of the New York Fire Department's new dogs showed off a few tricks of its own. Lie down, roll over, stay. But the most remarkable things that the 2 robot dogs can do were mastered by real dogs long ago. Jogging across terrain, hopping over small obstacles, and helping keep their masters out of harm's way. The department, which plans to deploy the robots in the months ahead, is the first fire agency in the country to purchase these 70-pound machines, which cost $75,000 each, and are built and sold by Boston Dynamics, a robot company. So there you go. A robot dog will pull you out of a burning building. It won't shoot you with fire. It won't shoot you with a bullet or cut you in half with water. But its cousin in the police department will. And that dog is coming. And this is what these dogs look like. They don't look friendly and they're sort of menacing. And when you see them move in real time, it's a very scary kind of thing. And we'll talk more about robots and other things happening in the news when we return in a moment. And we're back from break. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles.tv. And one of the beauties and the nightmares of doing a live stream is breaking news. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's just harrowing and ruins your day. We were talking about robot dogs and policing and fire departments, and I had a whole other thing about robots and being real people, but we'll save that until next week. And we'll take a break and talk about the breaking news that Commissioner Gordon made us aware of. And I really don't even know what to say. The Supreme Court is out of control. Guns, hey, everybody should have a gun. And Joy Behar got in trouble on The View for saying what I said for many years. Every black person gets a gun and lots of ammo and open carries, and you watch how fast the gun laws are going to change to restrict access to guns. They don't think black people or minorities have guns or want guns. They're going to find out. So here's the really sad but stunning update. Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. The decision eliminating the constitutional right to an abortion after almost 50 years. That's a very poorly written sentence. Will lead to all but total bans on the procedure in about half of the states. I hope Gordon is packing right now to go protest and file lawsuits in Washington, D.C. on behalf of the Jewish population. After a leak, the Supreme Court details its final decision on abortion. Overruled Roe v. Wade, eliminating the constitutional right to abortion after 50 years. The ruling will test legitimacy of the court and vindicate decades-long Republican project of installing conservative justices prepared to reject the presidency. Elections matter. If people had just been smart enough and brave enough to vote for Hillary and not that other monster, this would not have happened. It's just that easy. The decision, which echoed a leaked draft opinion, will result in a starkly divided country. A country that's now going to be full of guns. Yesterday was everybody can have a gun. Today, nobody can have an abortion. Now what? Chief Justice John Roberts voted with the majority. I said he would have taken a more reasonable, measured course, stopping short of overruling Roe outright. Well, that doesn't matter, does it? Could be, should be, would have been. You don't even know where to go with it. You don't even know what to think. Donald Trump wanted a civil war, and now he's going to have one. Justice Department, like the White House, has little attitude for action, but senior lawyers have been planning for months and would intervene if a state attempts to impose a law that infringes on federal authority, such as penalizing attempts to cross state borders to obtain abortions, according to other officials. Now, that's the interesting conversation I've seen is, what are you going to do if a woman in Texas leaves, and they used to go to Oklahoma to get an abortion, go right back home. Now they have to travel 700 miles. They go to a different place, a different state, California, let's say, get an abortion, all right? They go back home, and they're arrested? That doesn't cut it. That violates interstate commerce. Now she's just going to go there and hang out and stay in California forever? Getting stuff on my phone that may be about this. It's going to be a sad and busy weekend. But in some ways, liberals, pro-life, pro-abortion, pro-choice people sat on this for 50 years. We won! Even though they knew the conservatives are coming after them. Life won, says Mike Pence. Blah. What did Planned Parenthood versus Casey say? Speaker Nancy Pelosi of California, on a day that was supposed to focus on the landmark passage of bipartisan gun reform legislation that really means nothing. It's not going to make any difference whatsoever. This cruel ruling is outrageous and heart-wrenching, but make no mistake, the rights of women and all Americans are on the ballot this November. Now, that's a very good point. Now, you better stand up and vote for the right people. But you have the Supreme Court that is going to give you fits. Employers asked to weigh in on many of these social and political issues in recent years. Abortion is distinct because it raises questions about employee health care access, especially if they are headquartered in one of the 13 states that will ban abortion immediately or very quickly. Mixed reactions from House Republicans as they trickle in to vote. Marjorie Taylor Greene says, it's great, it's a blessing, I prayed for this. Mitch McConnell. Millions of Americans have spent half a century praying, marching, and working towards today's historic victories for the rule of law and innocent life. Senator Richard Durbin, Illinois Democrat, who chairs the State Judiciary Committee, said the panel will convene a hearing on July 12 in a post-Roe world. Decision to overturn Roe clashes with the views of a majority of Americans. Well, let's hope they vote. Eric Schmidt, Attorney General of Missouri, issued an opinion that activated Missouri's trigger law, effectively ending abortion in the state. There they are, the cruel six. Know them and loathe them. And Trump got to appoint three of them. A handful of companies have committed to covering travel expenses for employees who need to get abortions, including Starbucks, Tesla, Yelp, Airbnb, Netflix, Patagonia, Salesforce, DoorDash, and OkCupid. Gordon says, but her emails. Ridiculous. And but her emails, and then all this foolishness that Jared and Ivanka did. Unpaid, roaming the halls of the White House. It's just unbelievable. But if you don't stand up, you don't fight back, you don't take seriously the other side who said, we're coming after you, and we're going to do all of these things to you. And you just brush it off and say, oh, we're above that. You go low, we go high. Oh, shut up. That was so stupid. I wrote an article on Bowles Blogs. When they go low, you go lower. That's how you deal with these people. Nasty. It's going to be a rough weekend. A lot of people, oh, how did we know? Ooh, what are we going to do? Well, what do you mean? You knew this was coming. You knew this was going to happen. This is what you get when you get someone like Donald Trump as the president of your country. Terrible things happen to the majority of the people. And if you let the tyranny of the minority rule the good graces of the majority, what are you going to do? And the big problem is the Electoral College. It's outdated, it's foolish. Why should someone from a teeny tiny state with nobody in it have the same standing and power as someone who lives in New York or California that's packed with people? It should be a popular vote. Most votes win. And if we did that, Republicans would never win another election ever anywhere. And that's what we want. And that's not what they want. So we had a wonderful show, ending on sort of a depressing but enlightened note. something we know is going to happen eventually. And now it's out. Now the real fight begins. A fight that should have started 50 years ago. Protect what you have. You never know when you're going to lose it. If you have any questions for me, you can email me, david@bowles.tv. If you have any questions for Jana Marie and her show, you can email her, jana@bowles.tv. On Twitter, @DavidBowles. Facebook is regular old BOLES. Instagram is Bowles Books. And TikTok, we're starting to fill it up with fun stuff. Bowles TV is the username. And if you have something else to add to our conversation after the fact, go onto our Discord server, join, say hi, have a discussion. We're there for you. So now I'm off for a couple of days. I'll see you again in a day or two. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And I hope you have a wonderful nap, a great sleep, a terrific wake up. And when ye shall awaken, may your soul be filled with joy, anticipation, and maybe even just a little bit of revenge. And Gordon says you'll have new ideas for us. That's always the idea. Come up with something new, something different, something interesting, find a take. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we keep trying, keep moving forward. The idea here is not just the live stream. The idea here is really the video on demand. That when this is over, this moment in time that we share together is preserved from now until forever, which can mean 5 years, 10 years, or eternity. Who knows? But that's what we're shooting for. Yes, we like a lot of chatters. Yes, we like a lot of followers. But the real intention of what we're doing here is the preservation of the truth as we know it. Whether people agree with you or not. But it's out there, and it's searchable, and it is findable. And we'd love to be a partner with Twitch, but to do that, we need 75 concurrent viewers over 30 days to get partner. And then once you reach partner, then you can broadcast in a higher quality, you get a lot more perks, you get a lot more leeway in the stuff you want to do. So that is a temporary goal that we are trying to get to. But if we don't get there, being an affiliate is just fine. So I thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you on Monday. Be well.